next lesson we'll talk about functions. There are different type of functions that you can use inside of Kotlin, like the non-return type of function and the return type of function. So now to begin with, let's create our main function by typing in fun main args array of string. So now that's how we do it. We have our main function, and why we need the main function. So the main function is here to execute everything inside of your program. You can execute everything inside of it, and you just need it, because if you don't use it, your program just doesn't work. So take care about it. So just use every time the main function and everything is fine. So now let's create our own function. Let's type fun sum, and yeah, now that's our own function. We can do whatever we want inside of it. Let's create some statements, or yeah, just let's type value num1 equals 5, value num2 equals also 5 or 6, and we just need to type in variable result equals num1 plus num2. So that's how we do it. And to call it inside of the console, or to get something inside of the console, we just need to type in print line. We type something like the result is, so let's do it like that. So plus result, and now we're good to go. And to call the function that you just have created inside of your program, or to get it executed, you have to type it inside of the main function. So let's type sum, and we are good to go. So now let's click on run, and let's see what happened. So now, as you can see, we get the result is equal to 11. So that's really good. Our program actually works because we execute it inside of the main function. So as I said, the main function is here to execute everything inside of our program, and you always need to use it. So now we can also create another function. So you can create every type of function that you can imagine. So let's create another function, like let's type num or value num1 equals to 5, value equals to 10, and now let's do it in another way, like result equals num1 so now let's give it inside of the console. So the result, so let's type the result is plus result. So now we have two different type of additions, or two different type of calculations. So we have here some addition, and here some multiplication. So inside of our function, so now if you need to call it, we just have to type in sum1. So now we just have called two different type of functions. So and that's how it works. And if you click on run, you will get the result is equal to 11, and the result is equal to 15. So that's how it works. That's how you can work with one function, and actually multiple type of functions, and if you need to use the parameters, or if you want to call or put some numbers inside of, or do it another way, you just have to type in num1. So let's do some parameters. So num1 colon integer comma num2 colon integer, and don't forget here to put something like, if you want to return an integer, you have to type in integer. If you don't want to return anything, you just have to type unit. So you can see, if you type unit, it's actually like void for the Java programmers that understand actually how Java works. So don't forget, unit is like void if you don't want to return anything, and integer or whatever you want. So in our case, we use integer because we use integer inside of our parameters. Like, as you can see, we get num1 is of type integer, num2 is of type integer, and we return something like integer. So now let's return num1 plus num2. So now let's go inside of the main function and let's type variable sum, and now let's give inside of it some values like 5 and 9, and as you can see, we give these values inside of these parameters, and we will get some return. So, and to get it inside of the console, we just have to type in println. The result is plus sum, and that's how you do it. So now let's click on run, and as you can see, we get the result is equal to 40. So to 14. So that's how you can work with functions. We just have created some parameters inside of it. We have returned some integer value. Don't forget, if you type something like string, so something like that, and it doesn't match, it's because you use another type inside of your parameter. So you have to check if it's the same type or the same return type. So now let's type integer and everything is good. So now that's because we have inside of our parameter some variables that are integer, and that's how it actually works. So now, as you can see, we just have return some additions between these two, and we will get it inside of the print line. So the result is equals to sum. So now, as you can see, we get inside of here or numbers. You can type whatever you want. So now we just can't only type two different type of numbers like 5 and 9, and we will get it inside of here. So now that's actually how it works. I hope you understand it, and if you have some questions, just ask and I will answer all of your questions. So now that's everything you need to know about functions. We have two different type of functions, and that are very common inside of every type of programming language. So yeah, that's all you need to know. I hope you liked that lesson, and we will see us in the next one.